Alrighty, that's his jam. It's time for our big drop-in. It's Wednesday, so that means DeAngelo Williams now joins us via Skype. And DeAngelo, I'm going to go ahead and give you the floor and Jessica the floor because I know that Jessica sent you a text about her big board. We've talked about it. I learned a lot more. I have to say, when you look at it and you hear about it, I will say that, okay, it makes a little bit more sense. A little bit. I'm not saying that I would do it.
That's all I wanted, just a small improvement on the sense making of it.
But look at that. There's
Did she not tell you what I sent back?
Oh, I did. Oh, I heard. I definitely did laugh.
I don't even want to see this because this almost got her blocked. Okay, I don't want to see that, and I don't block people. And I was like, I cannot believe. First of all, you took the time out to do this, and
props, right?
There's nothing else to do right now.
Make sure that you got the teams right.
There is nothing else to do right now but some arts and crafts, safely, the ultimate social distance activity in your own house, your own apartment, whatever. Help me work on my penmanship. I haven't had to write things in a while. I did it on a whiteboard. I don't know if you noticed that part of it, but I can erase it and add some more. So DeAngelo, for example, guess what? I have never watched The Amazing Race in all of my life.
Oh,
but guess who's going to watch The Amazing Race tonight? Because I'm a fan of yours, my friend, who I'm now excited to watch The Amazing Race. I can continue to add on.
So now, DeAngelo, you get a line and it'll be down DeAngelo Williams, whatever he does in life, whether it's building a fence or on Amazing Race, she is a fan.
I will hype you up. From the fence to running around the world. I don't even know what goes on The Amazing Race, but I'm going to learn tonight.
Jessica.
Please don't be disappointed. I can't take you being disappointed in me. It's hurting my heart.
If you was... Okay, Jess. I'm not even gonna waste any time. What do we have for today?
All right. Well, how about this? We have to celebrate you, right?
Exactly.
Tonight, it's the night you're making your debut. Amazing Race is premiering. Okay, DeAngelo, it's okay.
No, I'm taking DeAngelo down.
You're so exasperated right
now. I know.
I didn't mean to hurt you with this big board.
This is why it bothers me. I have a lot of really close friends that are fans of other teams and fans of other.
Oh no!
He's so upset he glitched out. Oh,
but it doesn't sway me one way or another. But she allows it to, or fans of a certain thing doesn't necessarily I don't eat Brussels sprouts. My wife absolutely loves Brussels sprouts. My oldest daughter, she doesn't eat Brussels sprouts. My youngest daughter do. So things that you're not a fan of, you don't have to be a fan of because somebody else is.
So I realized, just seeing the picture of the board out of context, the whole point was, it took me 7 minutes to explain the board, which I get is crazy in its own sense because it just shows how much is into it. But it's my origin story of why I am that way. And I admit, I'm weird. I am not a normal fan by any means, but it's because of my upbringing that pushed me into this box where I did not learn how to be a fan truly until I went to college, which is a long time to go through life without fully going all in on fandom. So still to this day, I go to a game, it is hard for me to root audibly, root visibly. It is it's just who I am inside. So go back or don't because it'll just upset you probably more. But it does explain where I come from. And I'm not trying to hurt you with this news and with this board and this chart. But I just wanted to allow you in on the experience of having a little more understanding.
Either he's frozen or he's thinking.
His eyes are moving, so he's thinking.
Oh wow, that's even scarier than.
I now realize, oh my gosh, I don't want to disappoint DeAngelo Williams. This was not something that.
So say that again. I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
Part.
You're good.
I want to make sure I get it right.
What part? What part do you want clarification on?
The last little part. I understand you wasn't a true fan, your upbringing and you blaming and making all these excuses. I'm just trying to figure out, so it's. Never mind.
I think we should just leave it at that and agree to disagree. We have different ways of approaching how to be a fan. I respect yours. You don't respect mine. It's cool. I get it. It's weird.
No. I respect it. I just don't understand it. And nor will I ever try to understand it because, like you said, you're weird. We get it. We're going to let you stay in your world. We're going to stay in ours, and we're going to coexist together.
Perfect.
That's the beauty of America. We're all different in our own right and in our own way. You're just a little bit different from other people that are different.
It's true. It's true. We all have our intricacies and idiosyncrasies that make us unique.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see your uniqueness on full display. I tried to transition once. We're going to try it again. I think this time it might stick. The Amazing Race. It airs tonight on CBS. Are you having, see, you're in your home. You can't really do anything. Are you having a watch party with your family? Will you even watch? What do you do?
I'm gonna watch it. Same thing that you said. This will be my first time watching an episode too. So it's gonna be interesting. There are gonna be a lot of people that are like, "What the hell is he doing?" Well, I have no idea what I'm doing. So I just kind of went cold turkey and got it together. But I have a question because. On my podcast, we always had these podcast questions of the week, and I'm gonna try to bring them to Rise and Grind now to have people think and stuff like that. But we've all been here before, so the question is this, and I want to get everybody involved here. You too, CJ. How long? Okay, so friends and family. I have a rule, but I'll tell you about that later. How long is too long when you let a friend or family member borrow money? And when you let them borrow money, when is it okay for them to pay you back? Like, you don't put a time frame on it. They say, "Hey, can I borrow $200?" And you give them $200, and you just like, "Yo, you don't ever say when you gonna pay me back." Or if you do, they say, "Hey, when I get it." And there's not like an actual time limit on it. But when is too long? Like, yo, like you need to pay me my money, or our relationship is on the line.
I think it depends on the circumstances and what they're going through, obviously, like whether it's like they don't have a job, they still don't have a job. I always say, so if it's like they don't have a job, they're still trying to figure their lives out, I say up to a year. If it was money that they're just not great with money, I've been in a situation like that, and they're living their best lives still, like they're taking trips, they're doing this, they're buying bottles, they're going to the club. Then it's like, okay, 6 months tops is where it's like, yo, like I really lent you, and this is like a lot. I'm talking about a lot of money, not like $100, $150. If it's upward towards like $1,000, that's when it's like, okay, maybe 6 months. 6 months for them to save up, pay them back. A year if they're struggling.
6 months was going to be the time frame I put. I'll take it a step further and say anything over $100. Like anything over 100 means I'm going out of my way to take change out of my account to try to help you. So if you can't pay me back within 6 months, especially, but if you address it in the meantime, like if you come to me and say, yo, like I'm still really struggling, can I have I don't want to say an extension because that sounds incredibly formal to be talking with your friends, but like I'm not going to ruin a great friendship over a couple $100 where I'm trying to help that person out. That said, if I see that they are living an extravagant life or doing things where they are spending money that could easily be, not like necessity things like groceries, but going on trips, going out to clubs. I mean, you can't do any of that right now, technically. That's where I draw the line. But a little bit of money, I'm not gonna risk a friendship over it.
Oh, I will. We can solve all of this right
100%.
now. No, you're not getting no money. I don't lend money. It's real out here in these streets. And if I do lend money, I expect you to take care of me before you take care of yourself. So if you're not going to do that, there's no reason for me to lend money. People have called me like, yo, I'm short on my rent. Well, I guess you're going to live on these streets and I got nothing for you, dog. Like there's nothing motivates you more.
Do you open up your house?
Yes,
like, hey, you
absolutely.
come stay with us.
Absolutely.
Okay, you find other ways.
I had my sister-in-law stay with me for 6-7 months one time. That's fine.
How long is too long to have someone stay in your house?
As long as you're working and saving, I don't mind. Like
Forever?
Heathcliff and them let Denise and Vanessa and Sandra and them all come back to the house. So I consider myself a Huxtable child. So like, yeah, y'all can always come through. Just get your life together. As long as you're working to try and get your life together, that's fine.
Okay,
DeAngelo, what do you think?
I have a rule. I don't lend family and friends money because I don't want to have to make the decision on if the money I lent them is worth more than the relationship. So this is what I'm saying. I have a friend that has a friend that lent his friend $8,000.
I lost it, but there's a friend.
Year, and he said he doesn't want to be a bad friend, and the relationship is taking a hit because every time he calls him, he thinks he's calling him about the money, and he's not calling him about the money. He wants to continue the friendship, So my thought process is this: if you lend somebody some money, every conversation after that, they're gonna assume that you're calling about the money versus just calling like your everyday habit to continue that friendship that you guys have established. So I just stay away from it at all. I'm letting you know right now. Me, when I lend money, I don't care what situation you're in. If you call me and you say, "Hey, can I borrow $200? I'll pay you back." I didn't call you and ask you for that lie. I don't in turn think you are calling me to lie to me about not paying me back. So then it boils down to now the principle, not necessarily about the money, but the principle. Because if I called you and said the same thing, then I would just assume, hey, I need to pay you back as fast as possible. And I don't like owing people. So again, before I pop bottles, go buy shoes, or do any of that stuff, I'll pay you your money back because I don't want you to hold that over my head. So it doesn't matter what amount of money it is. If it's $10, it's $20, it's $30. And this is why the amount doesn't matter to me. Because if the amount didn't matter, then you wouldn't need to borrow it. So it's big in some aspect in somebody's life. So why? Because it's not big in my life, should it not matter? If that makes any sense.
So but do you give money? Because I think there's a difference of
That's
like lending money
there.
and saying like, you know what, I'm giving this money, I'm gonna bless. So I'm blessed. I'm gonna be blessing to somebody else, and I'm not gonna think about it. I've done that before, and that takes a lot of prayer for me. And like, let it go. Don't care. Don't ask them what they did with it. You don't do that either.
I donate money all the time to charitable contributions because this is why. When people see you as a celebrity or a cash cow, and that blessing from you to them could translate over you being a crutch from them to you. So, you did it once, like, hey, bro, when you gave me that, I went and bought this and, started this reoccurring bill and figured, man, maybe you could help me. That's just like buying a family member a car. Okay, so there's insurance, there's gas, there's other things that's associated with it. Well, I didn't have the money to buy the car. What makes you think I have the money to buy the insurance and the gas to put in it? So now I'm basically taking care of a car that I just bought a loved one. So there's a lot of things within just giving somebody something and them not working for it.
There's, that whole trope about being bad with money. That exists. I have family members. We all have family members who might be bad with money. The way to get you better with money is not me bailing you out. It's you being hot in the summertime or cold in the wintertime because you can't turn on the air or the heat. It's you being hungry and trying to figure out where you're going to get your food from and having the budget, that sort of thing. So I'm actually hurting you by taking care of your bills, by taking care of your lifestyle. You are living above your means and you need me to step in and sacrifice my lifestyle for yours. And that's not right. That's not going to help you in the long term.
So, DeAngelo, what you are trying to say is that if you win the $1 million and I said, can I just hold something like $100, take me out to eat, you will not be doing that.
Now giving you $100, no. Taking you out to eat, yes, because I'm not financially putting you in a situation where you're going to next week or the week after that ask me for money. See, people don't understand when you open yourself up to giving somebody something, then you open yourself up for giving them more later.
Now, are you teasing at the fact that you're trying to put out there that maybe you might have won this $1 million?
He didn't shut it down.
Because he's like, before y'all start watching Amazing Race tonight, I need y'all to know, don't come at me and ask me to hold something. I ain't lending, I ain't giving, don't do it. I see what you're trying to do here.
You're reading too much into that. No. We was talking about this because everybody has loaned somebody some money before, whether it was a friend or a family member. And one of the guys at my gym that I work out at said, if you loan a friend some money, the enemy will pay you back. And I didn't understand quite what he said, and I thought about it, and I'm like, man, that makes sense because, not everybody pay you back on time. And when they don't pay you back on time, then they start dodging your call, then you got to pull up on them like, hey, bro, where my $20 at, or where my $100 at, or where my $200 at. I mean, at $8K during the pandemic, that's like $1 million. So there's no way that you can pay the amount of money that you borrow back. Then why borrow it? Like, why put yourself in that situation? But that's all I was saying, because, we talked about this, and because everybody can kind of somewhat understand or agree, or not necessarily agree with how we handle things, but have been in that situation before. I just wanted to see how everybody react, given, Jessica has 42 teams that she cheer for, and then, you do a whole bunch of ketchup and eat your fries with a fork. I just thought maybe you would have a different spin on this.
And you don't give money or lend people money.
And you expect money back for your fences. Yes. I will be honest. I think this is a really interesting conversation. And I haven't been fortunate enough to be in a position where I could give or be put in, I guess not fortunate enough, where someone would come and ask me like, hey, can you help me out in a large way? But I think you bring up really good points about not wanting to risk friendships and relationships and how that can come back and kind of all topple together. You always make us think, DeAngelo, and we appreciate that so much, because we can have all sorts of conversations on this show. And we do have to ask you, because I know you were a little bit vocal about it on Twitter this week too, when Le'Veon Bell was saying some stuff on social media, his beef with Adam Gase, and now you have last night the Jets straight up release Le'Veon Bell, shocking many people, doing it in the middle of the Tuesday night football game. Yeah. General Manager Joe Douglas released this statement. You had Bell putting the prayer hands up on his Twitter account. What's your take on all of it?
Oh, he absolutely won in this deal. Everybody, I've heard, countless people say, oh, the grass is not greener on the other side. Well, guess what, guys? It's not greener on the other side. You know why? Because it's AstroTurf, okay? The man got paid $28 million for 18 games. Where do they do that at? Where do they do that at? And now I go from a winless Jets team to now a potential Super Bowl contender and still get paid again? He just double dipped in 2 years. Sounds like he had a great game plan to me. So, no, you're absolutely right. The grass is not green on the other side because it's not real grass, okay? Now I'm going somewhere where it's real grass, and now you can compare me to my counterparts.
Well, when you talk about Le'Veon Bell, he also tweeted that he's still got a lot left. He's still ready. Where do you think he should go? What team should be looking at him?
Well, I wouldn't count out Pittsburgh because obviously he knows the offense there. And I'm not saying that they're hurting at the running back position, but he brings a different element to the game with how he plays the game. I didn't think he was a good fit with the Jets in the first place. But when they're paying you a ton of money, anybody fit anywhere. You can fit that square peg into a round hole if you pay it enough. And that's what it was. I mean, I could see him going to the Kansas City Chiefs. I could see him going to the Saints, but I can't really see him going there from a standpoint of what Kamara is doing there. But just anybody that uses their running back as a dual threat. I mean, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up in Baltimore, just because of the dynamic there. And maybe he's still upset with how Pittsburgh treated him. Maybe he's not. I mean, I don't know because I hadn't had that conversation with him. But going to a contender and being able to produce, and I think he's in a great spot. I mean, $28 million for 18 games, and you're going to tell me, like, that's what you get. Like, yeah, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, you're right. This is what I get. For 18 games, you're going to pay me $28 million? Guess what? I just got more money than some of the quarterbacks got paid out here for 18 games.
If the Bucs sign him, I'm going to be mad.
You're going to be mad if the Bucs sign him. I'm going to be mad if the Patriots sign him. But when you look at all of the teams and you're like, man, like, who could really use a Le'Veon Bell? You look through the teams, it's like, oh, guess who could use Le'Veon Bell? The New York Jets. And now they're without their best offensive player. They already lost their best defensive player. It's a mess. And yet Adam Gase is still the head coach of the New York Jets. It is an experience.
Yeah. Also, too, I didn't want to say this, but I strongly believe, and this is I shouldn't put this in the atmosphere because I really don't want it to happen. But with our luck, it's going to happen. He'll end up in New England, and everybody's going to be pissed because Bill Belichick. I'm telling you right now, he probably has his binoculars on right now, and he's it's Spygate for a reason, and he always get all the players that people. I'm sorry, Jessica. Are you a fan? I didn't.
No. I don't think
I
that
am
was
not.
on the big
It is
board.
not
Let
on
me,
the list. If you just looked at the
don't think
chart,
it's not
you
fair.
would know
It's
that
not
I
fair.
am
I
not.
just don't. I don't want to
fan.
offend anybody. Okay.
No.
I don't know when I'm offending you and when I'm not because you cheer for so many teams.
I gave you such an easy way. It's so easy, DeAngelo. It's so easy. Okay, wait, real quick.
It's not easy.
I have to study. It's a study
if I have
chart.
to study this chart before I talk to you, then it's not easy. Okay.
Okay,
I should be
that's
able
fair.
to just
That's fair.
talk to you about a singular team.
I'm saying
but you're
easy,
not
like a little
you're not that type of
sarcastically.
person.
just like a smidge of sarcasm when I say it's easy and not complicated, but I do appreciate it. One quick note, I see that family shirt on your chest, Memphis Tigers. They got a big game this weekend against UCF. When you hear UCF, what do you think?
I think we're gonna kick their ass. Only because we haven't in the past, but everybody gives us such a hard time because UCF has been our Achilles heel for the last few years. But that's not my main concern. I'm gonna tell you what my main concern is, and what's really been bothering me. And I had to pop my knuckles. This is what bothers me. For the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I haven't said anything about that other institution down the street that's in Knoxville. They win one game, they get ranked up high, and their whole fan base want to call us out. Like, look, you know what? We didn't talk about y'all last week when y'all took that L when y'all played Georgia. We're not going to get into that. But going into Georgia, my timeline on Twitter, my inbox, because everybody was like, yeah, y'all talk that stuff. Why y'all don't want to play us? And I'm like, bro, we never not wanted to play Tennessee. Just remember, because we've been good, you guys don't want to play us. And so now all of a sudden, you get a couple freak games in there and you win, and now your fan base want to pop off. That's what I like. The UCFs, I get it. I totally get it. They're in our conference. That's a big game. But every time we play a game, apparently we're playing against the Tennessee Vols up there in Knoxville because they fan base want to peek over their shoulders to see how we're doing. Just relax. We're still better than you guys. You guys are still our little brother. You know what I'm saying? And when you want this smoke, you can come get it.
A message to Vol Nation. I see it. Cannot wait for Memphis's big game this weekend versus UCF. You can watch it on ABC. And don't forget, you can watch DeAngelo Williams tonight on Amazing Race. He will not be giving you money. Don't you ask for it, but just make sure you're tuned in. I cannot wait to get to know and learn more about DeAngelo. I think it's going to be TV magic and gold. I can't wait to see it. Thanks so much, DeAngelo. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
I didn't know if he was gone or
Meaning
frozen.
Then I blinked. I didn't know.
All right, still ahead. We got CJ's Corners. We'll get you the latest from around the sports world, and we'll get to some pop of the morning.